Hi everyone, welcome. Yvette here. I want to share with you some projects that I made for the Graphic 45 design team call. Anyway, I want to share with you guys that I actually came up with these projects in like about 2 days because that's how long I had between the time I found out and the time that the submissions needed to come in. So I worked on all of these super fast, and I wasn't really going to enter because I didn't really think, I mean, there's so many talented ladies out there, and I'm not saying that I'm not talented, but have you seen the ladies that enter? Anyway, so yeah, I generally like what I make, but yeah, there's some amazing ladies that enter, and I thought about it, and then I said, okay, why not? I have the paper, I'm going to make these projects anyway, so I did it. So yeah, with that said, let me share with you guys what I made. I've been looking to make a recipe holder for my kitchen. I have one, and it's all mainly like entrees and salads and whatnots, and I like to bake a lot, so this one is mainly for my baking goodies, and then I have one little slot that says entrees on it, and that's because I have a couple of extra ones that I want to tuck in here and have them right at hand when I need them. So I came up with this. So I painted my box, as you can see, black, and I painted it with gesso so that it was a matte muted color so that the paper collection shines through, and I think it's so super cute. You guys check this out. So yeah, so let me show you the front. And this is what they look like, and I use Cirque Paper and petaloo flowers, and like I said, you guys can go to my blog. It's yvettecarrillo.blogspot.com, and I will have all of the information on the papers that I used, paper collection, and what I used as far as making all of this. Like for instance, here I used some fiber and some punches to make a flower and a button. Here you go. I love this paper. It's so versatile. You can use it with a brown background or the blue, yellows. It's so cute. And these striped ones are just totally cute. Look at that. And then that's another homemade flower. And that. And I'll show you. So on the back of all of them, I used basil cardstock. So I have in the back. And I sprayed all of these with my Lindy Stamp Gang, and this is Jasmine Gold. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just love it. You guys need to check them out. They're over at lindystampgang.com, and it's just awesome stuff. So here, and then here, you know all those fibers that we have laying around? I created flowers with them and put a button on top, and they look super cute. And then this one, here's some black fiber. And here's more black, different type of black fiber and more. And I like this tab. It says cakes. And another petaloo flower. And here I cut out a flower with one of my punches. I added some fiber and a button. So that's for my recipe box. And like I said, if you'd like to see more pictures, please come over to my blog and check it out, and all of the instructions and recipes, well, not instructions but recipes, are over there. Then I came out with a couple of layouts. This layout is really pretty. That's my mom, by the way. So here I use the curtain call collection, as you can see, and I use the 8x8 pages. So I use the 8x8 in the back, and the layout is 10x10, as you can see. So I just layered the 8x8 on top of the 10x10 and centered it, and it looks really pretty. I used I Am Roses, my favorite, Tim Holtz button, and an Eiffel Tower here on the side. I used my my spellbinders to cut and mat her picture. And all the cardstock that is not the designer paper is basil. So I just love their paper. And then around the edges here, I added Rub and Buff to make it like an antique gold look. Here I did some fussy cutting, and I added as you can see, some bling here for her necklace. And then this trim here was white, and I sprayed it with my Lindy Stamp Gang. Changed the color on that to make it super vintagey and beautiful black trim, and some Prima. And then this is from the paper collection, and I tucked that back there, and it looks super cute. And this is an actual picture of my mom right before she took her first trip to Europe. So super cool that I could use this paper collection for this picture. Then my next one is an altered canvas, and I used Cirque Paper for my altered canvas. And I have some trim on the back. I painted the canvas with, I believe it's raw umber by Americano Paints, and some Tim Holtz tickets, and I believe this is spare parts right here. And then over here, I used some trim and some pom-poms, as you can see. Super cute. And then on top of that, I layered the designer paper, all of the Cirque paper on top, and I went in a wavy type down there with the cute stamps from the paper collection. And here I used my scallop spellbinder, and I cut it into the scallops, obviously, and then I cut a circle out of the center, and then I put the rosette in the middle. And it represents, I don't know, those old cartwheels. And in the center, I punched out a flower from the flower collection, and I added UT. Then two little flowers that I layered, and I sprayed with Lindy Stamp Gang and a flat back pearl. And I added flat back pearls all around here. I think it turned out really, really cute. But like I said, check me out. Go check out my blog, and you'll see a little more. Again, here's more Cirque paper. I like this paper as well. There's a picture of my beautiful daughter. And I have these cute little frames that I got at one of the conventions. I think it was a convention that they hold here in Pleasanton. And they have all sorts of companies that come in, and it's pretty cool. Anyway, and again, I took the tickets, not the tickets, excuse me, the stamps, and I created this loop-de-loop thing here, and I have a little Tim Holtz clip, and a ticket that says play, and I think that this little brad is from spare parts. And then I wrinkled up the little pieces from the paper collection, and I added them here and here, and that's what I did with this one. So I wanted to share this with you guys. Then I have one more for you, and that would be this one. I've had this frame laying around forever, you guys, and it's kind of funny because Scrubby's like, why don't you just get rid of it? I'm like, well, I'll figure out what to do with it someday. So this is what I came up with. This is my little collage or homage to creation or create. So I have from MFT, I used one of their little banner dies, and I stamped the word create in there, and that's a recollection stamp that I use on that for the words. And then I am loving, look, I put little Tim Holtz feet at the bottom so it actually stands. And down here I want to show you guys. I used three different kind of trim. So here's one, and this used to be white, and I made it antique looking. And then I have this cute green and pink that goes perfectly with this Once Upon a Springtime paper collection, which is my favorite collection. Oh, I love it. And then I have more trim on the bottom. And I left all of the bottom part to loose, so it has movement to it. Super cute. And then I made a pin for it. I love pins, so I made a cute little pin. And I left the center part that moves around, so it gives it more interest. And then this little, the flowers and the birdie and all that is a recollection strand. And this is Crafty Secrets. I added some floss around a little thread stamp. And here I took one of those wooden spools that they sell at Michael's or Joanne or whatever, I see more. They have all of these little wooden pieces, and I cut it in half, as you can see. It's just half of it. And then I added some floss around it so that I can add it to my frame. And then here above my picture, I put a Melissa Francis corner, and I think it's super cute. Then I have little butterflies, and they've been glittered all throughout, and then some cute little pearls. So as you can see, here's another little butterfly, and a tiny one there. So yeah, so these are some of my projects that I entered. I hope you guys like them. I wanted to share them with you. I have a few cards. You guys can take a look at them on my blog. Here's another. It's a real pretty one with the curtain call. Yeah, and I want to thank you so much for coming by, and take care. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.